Hello, welcome to another Mamemeister 10-minute mashup, brought to you on a lovely summer's day, Friday evening, and it's absolutely gorgeous outside. Roasting hot, beautiful weather, perfect time to stay inside and play video games, that's what I say. Anyway guys, this mashup is Yie Ar Kung-Fu on the ZX Spectrum. As you can see there, it was originally released by Konami and it was licensed by Imagine, who are a sort of a company. It was a label that was taken over by Ocean Software, if I recall correctly. Imagine used to be a standalone company until they infamously went bust, which was well documented all over the internet. I says then the Imagine label was bought over by Ocean Software, and they primarily used the Imagine label to publish. What did we have? With the World Series baseball, then we also had a lot of Konami arcade games like Yie Ar Kung-Fu, Green Beret, Ping Pong, Mikey, can't remember if there was any more. I think that was it basically. But anyway, yep, this was the Spectrum version. Now let's never really played the Spectrum version because number one, I was a Commodore man, and I have to say I always felt the Commodore one just looked so much better than the Spectrum. Again, it's funny how, but having, you know, now that I'm a multiple system owner, I'll turn that down just a bit here. Yeah, now that I'm a multiple system owner, I mean I own several Spectrums, I can appreciate that this actually isn't a bad conversion at all. I mean, the thing with Spectrum conversions, I can't for the life of me actually jump. The thing with Spectrum conversions is, although the graphics tended to be black and white, it doesn't want to let me jump up again, the Spectrum always probably gave a fairer representation of the actual arcade graphics. I mean, if you look at the graphics here and compare them with arcade, it's not actually that far off it. You know, Butchu here was massive in the arcade, and you can see here he's a lot bigger compared to Oolong, the character you play. The Commodore 64 version obviously had nice bright coloured graphics, but this probably, you know, pound for pound was probably more like the arcade one. Now I'm just going to try and get through this as quick as I can to let you see the other opponents. Now, an interesting little anecdote. I seem to be quite favour-giving anecdotes out now and again. This game, I come from a place called Livingston, which is in Scotland. It's kind of situated virtually halfway between Glasgow and Edinburgh, hence the strange accent that I've got. A lot of people think I'm Glaswegian, but I'm not. I'm actually from West Lothian. Anyway, enough of the history lesson. Oh, duck, thank you very much. There was actually an area of Livingston, there's an area called Deadridge, and the person that wrote the Spectrum version actually came from Deadridge. So yeah, when we were playing, or when my mate was playing this game, he actually lived literally probably a couple of miles away from the guy that actually wrote the game. Off the bat, you know, nice looking graphics. As with most of the Spectrum games, it's always a shame that they're pretty bland. I mean, it's just obviously black and white. Like in this case, it's against a blue background. The backgrounds are the two. I mean, they're actually quite nicely animated. Obviously, why does that not want to jump? Obviously, you've got slight kind of, I wouldn't say colour clash, but as you can see there, when he passes through the background, you can see him changing colour. But you know what, that was what the Spectrum was. But all in all, this isn't too bad at all. One thing I'm not keen on is it seems to be a bit sluggish. Now I remember playing this briefly on my mate's Spectrum and thinking, compared to the Commodore one, it was quite laborious. You know, when he's jumping through the air like that. So yeah, I mean, I would probably say I do favour the Commodore 64 one. What's interesting is, well, a bit annoying, is I can jump like so, but I can't continue to jump. Can you only do one jump in a screen? I don't know. Strange. But typical Spectrum music. I says this isn't a bad. So I can jump like so, but I can't jump. Oh, I can jump. It's probably just the dodgy joystick I'm using. It's one of these. Let's see if I can adjust it. Is it cruiser sticks they call it? Don't know if that'll make any difference. This is playing on a, what's it, the old toast rack, the Spectrum 128. So you can probably hear the sound fairly well because it comes through the TV as opposed to the old rubber keyed Spectrum 48K and 16K. Anyway, I'm not exactly doing very well here. It looks like I'm fighting against a bloke dressed in a tweed onesie. Now, one thing that on the Commodore version of this, is it that particular move? I think it might be. You could virtually kill every opponent, which obviously I can't. And this one, using a little, I don't know what you call it, foot jab. It's not a leg sweep, it's a foot jab or something. Let's try it. Duck. Oh, damn it. So that, but this doesn't seem to be working very well. So I shall just use the flying kick, which seems to... I'm going to be dead. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I definitely prefer... Let's see, one player game. Let's go again. Now, since I've rejigged my games room, because I've now got the Atari 8-bit, I've got the Spectrum, I've got the BBC and the Commodore 64. Any games that I look at for these machines, I've also got the Amiga as well. Any games that I use on these machines, it's going to be the original hardware. As you maybe saw, what was the game that I did the other day there? Yep, the Wicked Father on the Atari 2600. That was the first game. Because I don't have that in cartridge form, I had to use that in emulation. And yeah, it's quite nice getting a nice crisp screen. You're basically getting a screen dump, so it's perfect picture with me talking. But like I said, I'm old school. You know, I'm not going to go down the route of doing is it screen capture, whatever the hell you call it. I prefer just to point a camera at the screen and talk shite and play it. As I said, I think it gives a more intimate kind of, I don't know, although you don't see me in these things, I think the fact that you can always see the TV, etc., that you can actually tell that I'm playing the game as opposed to, I don't know. I don't know if what I'm saying is making any sense, probably not. But basically what I'm saying is I won't be doing many screen capture games. Arse. Part of that reason is, of course, my main computer's downstairs in the living room, so if there's other people in the living room at the time, then it makes it a bit difficult as well. What is interesting is how your extra men are depicted. They look like little, in fact you know exactly what they look like. They look like, oh, what's it called? Wreck-It Ralph. Fix It. What's his name? Fix It. Oh, I can't remember. The wee guy with the hammer. You look like him. Oh, I actually killed him. You know what? I was too busy kind of talking. The one interesting thing with my Spectrum, I mean, I've got it plugged in. I've got it plugged in via SCART. It gives quite a nice picture, as you can probably tell. But the weird thing is, the picture normally is grainy. It's almost, you can almost not see it. It's kind of grainy, blurry. But I discovered if I turn my Amiga on, which is, I've got one of these multiple SCART things. If I turn my Amiga, my Commodore Amiga on, it instantly boosts the picture of the Spectrum. Don't ask me why. I've got a mate who tried to explain in scientific or physical terms what it's actually doing, and it completely lost me. But all I know is to play the Spectrum I need to turn my Amiga on as well. So arse. Well anyway, listen, is this the end of the level? Well no, I've still got how many lives have I got? Let's finish the game. This guy was always a bugger on the Commodore, because basically once he hit you once, he would hit you repeatedly and it was almost hard to can he get out the loop of getting hit. Another little interesting story is one of my mates was actually the official world record holder at this game on MAME, played through MAME. Oh. And we have a potato head man. No ceramic pixels for his nose and his mouth. Yeah, I mean, it's this. I must admit, the graphics for this are quite nice. Now, in the background, that looks like two green dinosaurs trying to devour the Shaolin Temple. Or is it just mountains in the background? I don't know. But yeah, the graphics for the... Whoa! That was close. The graphics for the background are actually quite nice. So yeah, all in all, this isn't a half bad. Hey, listen, this is just going to go on and on and on. I seem to get an extra life every time I complete a level, so we're well over 10 minutes, so I'm going to draw a line, guys. This is Yie Ar Kung-Fu by Imagine Software, running on the ZX Spectrum. As usual, guys, appreciate you watching.